This video we're going to be going over the Warzone 2 Season 6 patch notes. This is the final season before we get Modern Warfare 3, Warzone 3 if you will as well. And we'll be covering all the content on Modern Warfare 3 as well as Warzone 3. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. But we're going to get through these patch notes as quickly as possible. So this is Wednesday, the 27th of September, which is today's date. We've already kind of got all the roadmap stuff, so I don't really need to cover that too much because there's probably tons of videos already out there on that anyway. So the main things we will point out regardless though. So we've got the Black Cell stuff, which you can upgrade your battle pass if you really want to. We do have some pretty cool skins coming, to be fair, but it's kind of a bit too late for that right now. I mean, a lot of the cooler skins have came at the end of the cycle of this game, whereas they should have kind of came out throughout the kind of whole time, more or less. But we do have the Haunting event coming with this one as well, which is the usual Halloween events that we usually get with the zombies and all that stuff. So we've got two new weapons coming. We've got an assault rifle, which is the TR-76 Geist, or Geist, I don't know how you exactly say that. And then we've also got the ISO 9mm. We do have melee weapons as well, which we don't really cover too much here. And we've got new attachments for some weapons. So shotguns, Lockwood 300 is going to get a dual trigger that fires both rounds simultaneously. Probably going to be like a 1 to 2 shot kill now, so it might be quite useful. So when it comes to weapon balance in here, there's actually two separate sections, so don't get confused. There's actually a Modern Warfare 2 only section, and then there's a Warzone only section, so definitely just keep that in mind here when looking at this. So we're going to just focus on mainly the Warzone stuff. If you do want to look at the Modern Warfare stuff, I'll leave a link to the patch notes in the description. So we've got Chimera change, lower torso damage multiplier has been increased, which is a good change for this gun. FR Advancer, limb damage multipliers increased again, buff for that one. Hemlock got nerfed, Kastov kind of got nerfed and buffed, but overall it is a nerf there for this gun for the most part. M13B pretty much got a nerf. I'm pretty sure this got buffed with the previous update and then they nerfed it again, so maybe it's like too powerful right now. I'm not even too sure, to be fair, but this is now nerfed. The M13C has kind of got a buff, so I mean overall it will be a pretty much more useful weapon. I think it's not really going to change too much because it's mainly just to do with damage ranges and the lower limb multiplier, so it might not change this gun too much. M16, the close range damage has been increased. Close damage range has been increased. Lower torso damage multipliers increased. Limb damage multipliers increased. Battle rifles got pretty much overall a buff besides the Cronin Squall. I think the Cronin Squall is probably the most powerful one in the game anyway. But when it comes to the nerf to it, it's not massive, to be fair. And then everything else got multiplier increases. This goes for the FTAC RECON, the LACHMANN-556 SO14, and the TAQ-V. So the TAQ-V might actually be a super powerful choice once again. So it's worth trying out some of the battle rifles now, especially in Warzone, with all these multiplier increases. Now handguns, the Basilisk, I don't think really anyone really used that often. FTAC Siege did get a nerf. So this is the fully automatic pistol. GS Manga no one really used anyway. P890 and X12 got increases to all multipliers more or less, and damage ranges as well, which is quite useful. But this also affects akimbo. These can be super powerful once again inside Warzone, so it's worth checking these out once more. I'll try and get some stats videos out on some of these guns as well. 9mm Demon, I don't even know what gun this is, to be fair, but it did get nerfed. The 50GS got a buff overall, but again I don't think anyone's really going to use this gun, to be perfectly honest, even as a secondary. Shotguns, we've got close mid damage range increased on the Bison 800. Bison 890 got a damage range decrease for the most part, and yeah, pretty much it's just damage range decreases here. Lockwood 300, we've got a lower torso multiplier increase, limb damage multiplier increase. MX Guardian got a damage range increase, and pretty much overall a damage range increase for pretty much every range from the looks of it. So I don't really know how this makes shotguns more viable. I know the MX Guardian is quite a popular one because it's more spammable than the rest, but again, we'll wait and see how it plays out. We've got the sniper rifles now, so they've pretty much not gave one-shot headshots still, so I don't know if they're waiting for Warzone 3 for that or what, but they have increased the multipliers on pretty much most of the sniper rifles, other than the Signal, which they've actually decreased multipliers on, which I kind of understand to some extent. So Carrick 300 got damage range increases and multiplier increases to limb and lower torso. SPX got similar kind of treatment as well, to be fair, so upper torso and mid damage range increase. Submachine guns got an overall buff, so we've got the BAS P multipliers have been increased, and that is a pretty solid change. FENNEC got multiplier increases as well, which is a pretty solid change, especially considering the mag's quite small, all that kind of stuff. LACHMANN Shroud got a bit of a nerf, but then also got some burst fire changes, but we also seen the change earlier on as well. MINIBAK got a mid damage increase. MX9 got some buffs as well when it comes to multipliers. We've got some bug fixes as well. Fixing an issue causing stat bars to incorrect information. This kind of happens all the time anyway, so this is just kind of standard stuff. We already know that's going to happen anyway. And then we've got some global bug fixes. I'm trying to see if there's anything that's super important in here. Fix an issue where helicopters are taking higher damage than intended when stuck with a shock stick. Okay, that's pretty useful. Dirt bike collision with water not functioning as intended. That's been fixed. We've got some changes here. So there's quite a lot of bug fixes in general. I fixed an issue where the screen refresh rate setting wouldn't adjust it correctly, which is quite annoying. And I think that's kind of more or less the main ones. And then that is pretty much it. We're going on to Spec Ops multiplayer. We've obviously got new maps here, which do actually look really good, to be perfectly honest. But I think, again, a lot of this stuff comes a bit too late when it comes to Warzone changes and things like that. But that is pretty much all the details from the looks of it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and we will be making videos on the new weapons when they drop.